Good morning. Today I want to look at verse 2 of chapter 4 of the Sefer Yetzirah, the ancient Jewish book of creation. And this verse is going to continue the discussion of the 7 double letters of the Hebrew alphabet and add a bit to their meaning. So let's see if I can share my screen. And here we are, Sefer Yetzirah 4:2. So let's see. First, we have Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan's translation, 7 doubles, Beged Kefart. Their foundation is wisdom, wealth, seed, life, dominance, peace, and grace. Okay, in my translation, 7 doubles, Bet Gimel Dalet Kaf Pei Resh Tav. Their foundation is wisdom, wealth, seed, life, dominance, peace, and grace. Not much difference between his translation and mine on this one. All right, this is one of those verses that appears in several variations in the different versions that exist of the original Sefer Yetzirah. The original text, we don't have that anymore. All we have are a few ancient versions of it. Okay. However, the keyword assignments above fit in very well with the established Sephirodic or Kabbalistic tree of life. And here I have an interesting image. On the far left here, I have a picture of the tree with the 10 Sephirot with their most commonly used Hebrew names, Eder, Chokmah, Bina, Chesed, Devorah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut. And next, I have the English translations of those Hebrew words: crown, wisdom, understanding, mercy, severity, beauty, eternity, glory, foundation, and kingdom. And then again, here are the 7 double letters on these 7 vertical paths that we find in the tree. And remember, it has that right, left, center pattern. That pattern of 3 again, one thing opposite another, and the principle that mediates between the 2 opposites. So we got Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Pei, Resh, Tav. Okay, on to the next slide. We're just going to go through the meanings of these letters a bit, one by one, and show why these placements are pretty darn good. So, for example, Bet is the connecting path from mercy to wisdom. Going back, let's do that here. This is mercy, wisdom, Sefer. And here's the letter Bet, connecting mercy with wisdom. Okay. Furthermore, the letter Bet stands for a bracha, a blessing. As we learn to be a blessing to others, we also open ourselves up to a higher wisdom. If you want wisdom, this is right brain wisdom. Mentally bless other people. Visualize your highest good or highest light surrounding them briefly, and then move on to the next person. The letter Gimel is the connecting path from severity to understanding, and Gimel stands for Gamal, a camel. The camel is wealthy in that it can live off of its own stored resources. Likewise, when we learn how to be satisfied with our own fat and to drink water from our own well, then we too will be wealthy. Okay. The left side of that Kabbalistic tree, by the way, it has to do with more right brain stuff. And every Sephirah in that model, it actually has several different meanings. Devorah, you can think of that as strength or severity. You might also think about it as a point where you're starting to get a little discipline. When you discipline yourself to the point where you can figure out things on your own, drink from your own well, this moves you up to a higher path, a higher level of understanding, no matter what the subject is that you're studying. Okay. Next, we have the letter Dalet as a connecting path from beauty to crown, and it stands for Da'at, knowledge. In Kabbalah, knowledge is the result of the combined function of wisdom and understanding. That means using our right and left brains together. As I say here, wisdom and understanding, the result of the coordination of our right brain with our left brain. And knowledge is the seed whose sprouting can transport us to the enlightenment represented by the highest Sephirah, crown. Now, Keter means crown, but another name for that Sephirah is Ayin, nothingness, no thingness. So this is where you go beyond duality when you get to that topmost level. And knowledge is the key. A correct understanding of things based upon both your right brain experiences and your left brain understanding. Okay, the letter Kaf is the connecting path from eternity to mercy. It represents kavanah, intention or devotion. The word is also used to represent those spontaneous prayers, praises, and supplications that arise from the very soul of our being. And by engaging in these kinds of kavanahs, these spontaneous devotions, we can elevate our right brains to a higher level of love and mercy. And in this manner, we also enhance life. Okay, the ancient meaning of that letter is life. Okay, the letter Pe is the connecting path from glory to severity. It is on the left side of the tree, which rules form and structure, and the left hemisphere of the brain. Pe is also the Hebrew word for mouth. Hence, if we learn to dominate our mouth and control our thoughts, there's that discipline again, then our strength of will and intellect will become formidable. Otherwise, the consequences can be severe. Okay, and Pe, remember it, the ancient meaning of it is okay. So we have to dominate our mouth. The word Pe also is Hebrew word for mouth. And control our tongue, control our thoughts. That moves us up to a higher level. And then we have the letter Resh as a connecting path from foundation to beauty. It stands for Rachamim, compassion. When we have a good foundation, it is easy for compassion for others to develop. And this in turn gives us peace, which is also wholeness. And finally, the letter Tav is the connecting path from kingdom to foundation. The letter Tav stands for Torah, and it is written in the Talmud that when we study the Torah, a thread of grace extends into our lives. Okay, and on my last slide here, I've got a table showing how the characteristics of the seven devils were portrayed in the other versions of the Sefer Yetzirah. And let's see, here is the meanings I use, and the same meanings are found in the Gra version. Gra stands for Gaon Rabbi Eliyahu. Rabbi Eliyahu was known as the Gaon, or genius of Vilna, a great rabbi and a great Kabbalist. And so I am using these meanings in the same order that he uses them. This is also the same order found in the long version of the Sefer Yetzirah, which is a bit shorter. Okay, and then, I'm sorry, a bit longer than the short version. The short version puts these things in a little different order, and the Sadia version Sadia Gaon, the famous rabbi and Kabbalist, he puts them in a little different order too. But I follow most of the time the Gra version, sometimes the other versions. And let me go back for a minute to my picture of the Tree of Life here. Just want to make a few quick comments. This whole right side we can think of as our right brain. Okay. And the whole left side is like our left brain. Now, at the very bottom, these are basic brain functions. On the right-hand side at the bottom, this thing labeled eternity, this is just basic perception without any analysis. On the left-hand side, this is basic information. As we evolve, we can get up to this level, which is a little bit more of a moral level. We're aware of mercy, we're aware of severity, sometimes the harshness of life. It's those kavanahs which take us from just sort of our basic level of perception up to this level, where we're aware that some perceptions are a lot better than others. Good is better than bad. Mercy is better than cruelty. And so we can start relating to others more and interacting with them in beneficial ways. As we make blessings for the world, that takes us up to a higher level where we have a deep spiritual awareness and understanding, all within the right brain. The right brain, which just observes without putting things into words so much. On the left brain, at the lowest level, we're just gathering information. Okay? We apply some discipline. Discipline is sometimes seen as severity because it's a restriction. We're focusing is restricting our attention to something. And through that mental discipline, we begin to understand the meaning of all that information, and that moves us up to a higher level. But at this level, we still have to learn from our elders, our professors. But when we learn to drink from our own well, when we go back, look at everything deeply, digest it for ourselves, it takes us up to the very highest level of understanding. And at this level, we can begin to create new understandings. Okay, going back to the very bottom here, Nahu, the kingdom. This is the physical world, the physical plane. Through Torah or any good ethical discipline, we get a good foundation. Okay? That foundation should lead to compassion to others, and through that, we arrive at this point of beauty. We walk in beauty, as some of the Navajo, I believe, say. But through compassion, we can create a beautiful world. And then, knowledge. Knowledge is the result of a synthesis of wisdom with understanding. When these things come together, we get a true enlightenment, and we can move up to the crown or this no-thingness level. We can go beyond the subject-object duality. Notice that beauty is pretty much connected to all the other sefirot. We have to connect indirectly to the kingdom, the physical world, and this is through our body, which is the foundation for existence here, okay? But otherwise, it's pretty much connected to everything else. And once we have found this point of balance, this point of beauty within us, and have established this knowledge that can lead us to enlightenment, we can kind of move in any direction in the tree. We can move up, we can move down, we can move to the left, we can move to the right. It's all open to us at that point. Okay, And that's all I want to say in this presentation. So I'll stop sharing my screen. There I am. There you are. And so I'll say goodbye, shalom. Again, peace and wholeness to you. And I hope to see you next time.